Although I found this a turn-on, I was still finding it hard to come this way. After 30 minutes, I was about to stop, thinking I needed more than this movie could offer. Then it happened. I caught sight of a reflection in the mirror on the sideboard. I was shocked to discover that my friend Roger was watching me from the doorway. I'd given him a key to the house several months before. I knew I should have stopped right there and then, but the exhibitionist in me was screaming to carry on. I then unconsciously pulled my panties to one side and inserted a finger into the moistness. I glanced at the mirror as innocently as possible and saw Roger's cock in his hand. The sight of his meat gliding through his enclosed fingers made me feel so fucking hot that I found myself wanting to please him. I quickly pulled my blouse open and reached for the bra stud at the front. After pressing it, my breast pushed it open, and I pulled on my right nipple with my left hand. Looking back at the mirror, I could see how excited this had made him. He was now leaning against the doorframe and had his jeans around his ankles. When I let out a soft moan of pleasure, I saw a huge string of cum exiting from the end of his cock, and in that instant, I came. I closed my eyes briefly, and when I opened them again, I witnessed another stream of his man-seed spurting out the end. I realized that my hand was soaked and that I had come so intensely, my juices were creating a wet patch on the sofa. I closed my eyes again and took a deep breath. When I reopened them, Roger was gone. After getting my clothes back together, the guilt hit me. The rational part of my mind was telling me that no harm was done. After all, he was just a friend. But the moral side was screaming at me to stop this behavior and never let it happen again. The fact remained that I'd never come so hard in my life from just playing with myself. I couldn't help wondering what Roger was thinking when he masturbated over the sight of me, and that thought kept creeping back into my mind. When I saw him again, he didn't let on that he'd seen anything, and I just left it. Roger came around the next day as it was his day off. When I opened the closet that day to get some clean clothes, I couldn't help thinking about the other day. I quickly decided to wear something sexy and pulled out the shortest skirt I could find, which only just covered my crotch, and a tight buttoned-up top that showed more than enough cleavage, especially with 3 buttons undone. I did put on some panties, but the naughty side of me told me to remove them, which I did. I was hairless down below, as I enjoyed the smoothness of a shaved pussy, and I knew that men did too. I then went downstairs and made myself some breakfast, only to find Roger sitting at the breakfast bar and eating some cornflakes. "Good morning, Roger. Make yourself at home, why don't you?" I said, laughing as I reached for a bowl. He laughed as well. "Morning. You look sexy today, Connie. Have you got a hot date?" he said, laughing. "No, I just felt sexy this morning, and as I wasn't going anywhere, I thought I'd wear something that reflected my mood," I replied, not entirely untruthfully. "Well, you certainly look sexy, so if that's your mood, you've achieved what you set out to do," he said, making me feel good about myself. "What are you going to do today?" I asked. "I thought I'd play my video games. I need to relax a little. How about you? Got any plans?" "I was going to watch a movie or two, which reminds me, can I borrow a couple of your adult movies?" I said, quite innocently. Roger laughed and looked at me with a smirk on his face. "What? Don't you think a woman can enjoy a good porn movie or something? I get the same urges as anyone else you know," I said, before he could reply. "I know. It just seems funny that you find it so easy to let me know what you're going to watch. Most people keep that sort of thing to themselves," he replied. "I've never found it difficult to talk about sex, even to my friends. And as far as the movies are concerned, I see nothing wrong with a bit of escapism from time to time," I said. "You're preaching to the choir here, Connie. I see nothing wrong with it either. I actually like the fact that you're so open about it all. It's quite refreshing. Anyway, yes, you can borrow a couple. In fact, I bought a new one yesterday, which a friend said was quite good. Perhaps you can let me know what you think when you've seen it," he said, getting up from the breakfast bar and going to fetch it from his car.